Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje and Vicente Luque versus Belal Muhammad 2 have both just been made official, and I thought I'd give my reaction to both of those fights being made in today's MMA news reaction video, starting with Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. It's been added to the UFC 274 card. I thought it was in Brazil, but apparently now it's in America, which in my opinion completely ruins the entire point of that card, because they're adding all of these Brazilian guys on the card, Brazilian champions on the card, and it's not even going to take place in Brazil anymore, I don't believe. So it's in America, but it's at UFC 274. Oliveira versus Gaethje, a massive fight in the lightweight division. Anytime the lightweight world championship is on the line, people are going to take notice and pay attention. And Justin Gaethje got his title shot. For a moment a couple of months ago, when Charles Oliveira was calling out Conor McGregor, I was worried that maybe in some sick world and some twisted world that we are in, Conor McGregor would immediately get a title shot against Charles Oliveira for no reason whatsoever. But Justin Gaethje got what he wanted. He's got his title shot. They listened, they gave him the shot after he beat Michael Chandler in a great performance, a fight of the night performance, maybe even a fight of the year performance as well. So Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, number one versus the champion. I guess Gaethje's number one. He still lost to Poirier, so arguably he should be number two still. But either way, you've got the best contender who hasn't already lost to Oliveira in Justin Gaethje versus Oliveira himself. And I do believe that Charles Oliveira is going to get this one done. I believe that he's probably going to push Gaethje to the cage, take his back, and then choke him out pretty easily, because I believe Justin Gaethje's jiu-jitsu game is just shit and really, really bad. I do believe his takedown defense, and I've been proven wrong on this, is better than I once perceived, okay? Getting Justin Gaethje to the ground is a bit of a problem, and it's very, very difficult to do. But Charles Oliveira arguably couldn't get Dustin Poirier to the ground with a takedown. So what did he do? He adjusted, he pulled guard at one point, he rolled over, he ended up, Dustin Poirier actually rolled himself onto the ground, and then Oliveira, after tangling up his arms and legs, ended up on top of Dustin Poirier in that second round and started landing those big elbows, and Poirier just couldn't get back up after that moment. Also in the third round, again, Charles Oliveira didn't even get a takedown against Dustin Poirier, pushed him against the cage, Poirier tried to defend, Oliveira took the back standing, and he does this so many times in his career. He took the back standing against Dustin Poirier, choked him out in the third round with a standing rear naked choke. I actually said he would get a standing rear naked choke against Poirier. I didn't think he was going to get him down that easily, but it's exactly what happened. And Oliveira's a master at not really needing to get a takedown to implement his jiu-jitsu. And Justin Gaethje, when he fights a guy who arguably will want to take him down, he doesn't fight on the feet the same way he usually would. We saw this against Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, I don't believe Justin Gaethje truly feared the grappling game of Michael Chandler, because Chandler didn't really shoot takedowns anyway. He was there to brawl. They were going to stand in the center and throw back and forth, and Justin Gaethje was okay with that. It wasn't the best performance by Justin Gaethje, by the way. He did look quite sloppy in some areas, and he even said that about his own performance afterwards. But I feel like when he fights a guy like Khabib, where he knows this guy's plan A is probably to try and get me to the ground, you see him hunch over a little bit. He gasses out a little bit quicker as well. He hesitates on a lot of his shots. He doesn't want to let his hands go sometimes. Sometimes he will let his hands go and they'll look amazing. Maybe he could KO Oliveira in the first round. If there's a guy who's going to do it at lightweight outside of Chandler, it's probably Justin Gaethje. He's got that power in his hands. So I feel like there is a chance that Justin Gaethje could score a first round KO here. But Oliveira's got stand-up, man. He went toe-to-toe with Poirier on the feet in the first round really easily. And I know he got, like, hurt at one point and had to get back up to his feet afterwards, but I feel like Oliveira's stand-up is a real underrated part of his game right now. And I think all of the tools that he uses on the feet to beat a guy like Dustin Poirier are going to work against a guy like Justin Gaethje, a guy who hunches over whenever someone tries to close the distance on him and throws a hook. Oliveira, we saw, got that single collar on Dustin Poirier, landed huge knees to the body. We've seen Justin Gaethje deal with body shots quite badly in his career before, even against Tony Ferguson in some moments. Ferguson would start tuning up his body with a nice front kick to the stomach over and over again. Even against Eddie Alvarez, most notably, he got chewed up to the body in that fight. Poirier was mixing in body shots as well on Justin Gaethje. It seems to be a problem problem where Gaethje doesn't like people that go to the body, and Oliveira's got a nasty front kick to the body, some great knees to the body as well. He's got a solid chin, solid recovery. He's got that championship Terminator mindset right now where he's just going to walk you down and there isn't a thing you're going to do about it. Now, Justin Gaethje again could land that big shot and put down Oliveira, but hey, listen, Oliveira slept Chandler, dude. Oliveira slept Chandler badly, put him away with ease in that second round as soon as he landed a big shot. Gaethje landed a heap of big shots on Chandler. A massive amount of big shots on Chandler. Now, I do recognise that Chandler was probably expecting more power from Gaethje than he was Oliveira, but Oliveira's got power too, and Gaethje does get wobbled himself, and Gaethje couldn't put down Chandler, although he did put him down with that uppercut. He couldn't put away Chandler the same way Oliveira could, so maybe Gaethje's power only works on James Vick and Donald Cerrone. And Barboza, once you've eye-poked him really badly on that very same side and he doesn't see the shot coming whatsoever. It's not really a top-tier level of chins. You know what I mean? Poirier could take the shots. You know, Chandler could take the shots. And Chandler and Poirier are people who have been described as chinny in the past as well. But that extra chinny layer of Cerrone and James Vick, that's where Gaethje's putting people away. Unless, of course, he lands that eye poke that he did on Edson Barboza and then throws a shot to that very same side, which is why he KO'd Barboza in the first round. But I'm going to go with Oliveira here. I don't think he needs a takedown, but the fact that he will try for a takedown will make Gaethje hate fighting a guy like Oliveira. His front kicks to the body are going to be very nice as well. He took barely any... I mean, Gaethje took more damage against Chandler, I would argue, than Oliveira took against Poirier. Oliveira got put down once in the first round against Poirier, popped back up, took a couple of other big shots as well, don't get me wrong. But Gaethje and Chandler went back and forth for the better part of the first 5 minutes, rocking each other, landing big shots, massive haymakers, and Chandler even chewed up his legs in some other rounds and went to the body in some other rounds as well. I just feel like Oliveira is going to push him to the cage, go for a takedown. Gaethje's going to stuff the takedown. In the process of stuffing the takedown, I think he's going to give up his back, try and turn away from Oliveira. Oliveira's going to get the back against the cage, need a fire a couple of times, take the back standing, and I think it's going to be like another first round rear naked choke, unless Gaethje, like, in an attempt to escape the rear naked choke, just like Michael Chandler did, dives on the ground to try and get Oliveira off of him, and Oliveira can maybe switch to something else to go for in terms of submissions. But I just think it's going to be too much of a threat in the back of Gaethje's mind. I can't get taken down. I can't get taken down. That's going to limit his stand-up, and when he's getting tuned up by Oliveira on the feet, he's going to be worried about that as well. Front kicks to the body, jumping front kicks to the face in the first rounds, and spinning back kicks as well. Now, Gaethje could chew up the legs, try and make something happen. But I think best case scenario for Gaethje, you're praying he puts him away in the first round. And it's not like a dead set thing that Gaethje's going to put people away in the first round. Unless they're Donald Cerrone, James Vick, or Edson Barboza post eye poking him brutally. So maybe Gaethje goes for that eye poke against Oliveira. But Oliveira's already fucking blind, so I don't think an eye poke is actually going to affect him. But either way, I'm going with Oliveira, pressuring Gaethje backwards, making him make a mistake, shooting a takedown. Gaethje tries to defend it, get his hips under him, and Oliveira uses that advantage to take the back, get the hooks in, and put away Gaethje. I'll say first round, late first round rear naked choke for Charles Oliveira. I know I've picked a lot of first rounders for Oliveira recently, even against Dustin Poirier, but I think it's going to happen this time against Justin Gaethje, so we'll see how it goes. But, and I will say this, arguably doesn't deserve another title shot. Or a title shot. Or another title shot. He already fought Khabib. Like, I'm all for, like, there's going to be this narrative that, oh, thank God, you know, they gave the very deserving contender Justin Gaethje a title shot. Let's just say it how it is one more time before I move on to Luque versus Muhammad 2, which is also amazing. Justin Gaethje's on a one fucking fight win streak. The only reason he deserves a title shot is because you're in a very lucky position right now where other people have fights. Makhachev and Dariush are booked, and you've managed to get this one signed before Makhachev-Dariush happens. If this wasn't signed before Makhachev-Dariush happened, I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of that one actually got the title shot over Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje had to fight another contender, like maybe a fucking winner of Dos Anjos versus Fiziev, which would be a tough contender, unless it was Dos Anjos, of course, in which case I think Gaethje would win. But I will go with Oliveira here. Standing rear naked choke in the first. Gaethje gets the title shot. And right now, if you're looking at anyone in the division and you're looking for the champion to stay active, which he is right now, thank you, Oliveira, for staying active for us. It's the best thing a champion can do. It's good. Gaethje's the deserving contender right now. He's the only guy who can actually get a title shot on paper. So let's give him to Charles Oliveira and make that fight happen. Moving on to another fight that's been made, which is Vicente Luque versus Belal Muhammad 2. Sells itself, really. Now, there are some factors here. I do believe that Luque is going to be finishing him in the first round here with a KO. I just don't see it happening any other way. I mean, if Luque back then had the power and patience to land on Belal's chin and put him out cold in the first round, I feel like the Luque nowadays has actually gotten a lot better at that. Timing in the first round, landing those power shots, being a little bit more patient to look for the perfect moments. Saw that against Woodley very well. Even if Woodley was throwing heat at him, he was waiting. I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for Woodley. Oh, Woodley's tagged me behind the head with a right hand, and I'm wobbled a little bit. Who gives a fuck? I'm waiting for him. I know I'm going to catch him with this check hook. In comes Woodley. Boom. Check hook. Cracks Woodley. Wobbles him. Same check hook he put down Belal Muhammad in the first round of their last fight that they had. But this is a very different Belal Muhammad, and that needs to be mentioned. Belal Muhammad, when he fought Luque the first time, and back earlier on in his career anyway, I mean, if you type in Belal Muhammad right now on Google, and go to images, and then go to the very right of your screen, you'll see what Belal Muhammad used to look like, okay? And let's just say it's a very different Belal Muhammad than the one we're seeing nowadays, okay? Let's just point that out real quick. This is not the same Belal Muhammad, and it's very obvious. This Belal Muhammad doesn't have marks all over his stomach, acne all over his back, and wasn't, I believe, signed with Ali Abdulaziz back then. So, you know, this is a different Belal Muhammad, and maybe this new Belal Muhammad who at some point, post 30 years of age, realised, oh yeah, maybe I should get in good shape. Because I'm assuming that's what it must have been. Otherwise, he's clearly on roids. And it can't be that because USADA's legit. So, I feel like Belal Muhammad's going to be a bit stronger this time. But Luque's got a bit stronger as well. He's a bit of a bigger guy for the division as well. And he's improved his grappling. Although Chiesa could get him down and do some work on the ground. Luque stayed patient. Got out of the bad positions. Ended up back on his feet. He's definitely got better defensive grappling than Wonderboy. So I don't think Belal's going to expose him in the grappling department. But I will say this. Typically, in Luque's career, volume striking and good grappling to mix in and mix it up in the middle of the fight has worked against Luque. In Nico Price in the rematch, volume striking, kept it on him, pressured him a lot, had a good chin, Nico Price, shot for good takedowns just to mix it up now and again, and he got the better of Luque in certain moments of that rematch that they had, even winning some rounds in that fight as well. But when you look at other fights in Luque's career, Brian Barberena, a volume striker, put it on Luque, pressured him and had very good success in certain moments in that fight. But again, Luque finds a way to land that shot and put them away. I love Belal's chances here. I think he's going to be an underdog, but I think he's probably going to be a good underdog to look at here if you think he can get the grappling going and can put the volume striking on Luque, because Luque's head movement is not the best. It's something he's been trying to work on recently, but we'll see how it goes for him. I guess this will be a big test to see if he's improved it, because Belal's got some decent 1-2s, can walk you down, land those good combos on the feet, but I just think Luque's got way better grappling than Wonderboy. And I think that'll lead to him stuffing at least more, if not all, of Belal Muhammad's takedowns. And I think if that happens, and it's on the feet between Belal Muhammad and Vicente Luque, I can see Belal Muhammad doing very well. Maybe outlanding Luque in the first round. And then in some point in the second round, early on, 2 minutes left, where Luque sort of got himself a bit more amped up for the second round, like, I've lost the first round, I've got to get this going. Belal out-volumed me early. I think he's going to put some more spite on his shots, and I think he'll crack Belal Muhammad on the chin, who doesn't have the best of chins in the UFC, let's be real. So I think he'll put him down again, maybe this time in the second round, hurts him, Belal shoots a takedown, Luque puts in that signature Darce choke. We'll see how it goes though, man. I'm telling you, like, Belal Muhammad, I know if you look at his old, like, parts of his career where he was hungry, motivated, in his prime, like, no injuries whatsoever, young, hungry Belal, on the come up, no injuries, nothing holding him back from training. I know you look at that Belal Muhammad and see a guy like, oh my god, how is this guy even an athlete? He's not even really in that good of shape, to be honest with you. But now you look at Belal and you see, oh, now he's injured a bunch, past his prime a little bit as well. All of a sudden, he's realised, I need to start looking in good shape. Like, weirdly out of fucking nowhere, another Ali Abdulaziz fighter goes from not so athletic to ridiculously fucking jacked when they get towards a title shot in the welterweight. It's all good, though. I'm not going to go too crazy here. But let's just say Belal's changed at some point, and now he's started doing push-ups for the first time. Maybe that's what it is. But even still, I don't think Belal's going to win this one. I reckon Luque's got this one in the bag with a big KO blow. But people are saying this in the headline island and stuff like that. Luque by vicious first-round murder assassination. I could see it happening in the first round after Belal lands a couple of good shots and starts looking good in certain moments. We even saw him got rocked against Leon Edwards as well with a good head kick. And it just shows that there's still that chink in the armour that, okay, this guy has not got a granite chin. He can be wobbled. He can be rocked. Luque's got some of the biggest power in the welterweight division. In terms of pure power, Usman's probably got the best power. I mean, I'm missing someone. Chimaev might have. We don't know much about Chimaev's power, though, let's be real. But of what we know of, like, established many career-long fights in the UFC welterweights, Usman's probably got the most power, just if he charges up a punch. But Luque's got close to that level of power, but a way better delivery system of catching people with it. So I think Luque's probably going to put him down, end of the first round, start of the second round, somewhere like that. But it's a great matchup. Headliner of a fight night as well. I forgot to mention that thing. I guess we'll check what fight night it's on. April the 16th, I believe. And I'll just check if there's anything else signed on that card, just to get a bit of a understanding on what's on there. Luque versus Muhammad. Oh, this card. Oh, this card's looking great already. Okay. This is better than fucking UFC 270. Luque versus Muhammad 2, main event. Beza versus Diego Lima. Not the best main card fight, but it's on the main card. Chris Barnett versus Martin Badea is on that card. Drakkar Klose, Brandon Jenkins. Rafa Garcia, Jesse Bronson. Kai Bahalo versus Gaethje Omar. Oh my god, they gave him. Okay. Have a fun debut, dude. Either way, Lena Landsberg, Pani Kianzad, they've got some decent scraps on that card. Hopefully we get a couple more great ones sprinkled onto the main card of that event. But good fight. Looking forward to it. I'm glad it's got its own main event. And 5 rounds does benefit Belal Muhammad, because maybe Luque thinks too much about going 5 rounds, doesn't want to put everything into his shots early, and all of a sudden he's sort of caught up in a volume match with Belal Muhammad, which could work out for Muhammad, but I'm going to go with Luque catching him on the chin. I just think he's going to find that check hook that he normally does on his opponents and put away Belal Muhammad. I really do believe that. And plus, Chiesa's a big guy. And even then, he surprised Luque with the blast double leg. And Luque's so patient on the ground. Like, you're training with Gilbert Burns full time. Gilbert Burns' training partner. I don't see Belal Muhammad finishing him on the ground in any way. But he could maybe out-grapple him. But how much do I trust the consistency to where he keeps doing that every round without getting cracked on the chin? No finishing power in his hands from Belal. I don't see him finishing it on the ground, so he's going to have to go 5 rounds perfect and just beat up Luque for 5 without getting clipped with a massive Luque left hand. So I'm going to go Luque, catches him on the chin, finishes him at some point in the first or second. Like and subscribe. I guess I can brush over some of the other fights that have been made as well. Lupita Godinez versus Ariane Canelose. Ariane man-arms Canelose. I reckon Lupi Godinez wins that one. Ariane Canelose didn't look great against her last opponent. Had to come back into it as the rounds went on. I think Lupi can handle the grappling and definitely maybe expose some holes in the stand-up too. I reckon she gets this one done. And she's fought bigger opponents, so it's not like Man-Arms McGee is going to really shock her with the strength advantage in the strawweight division. Lupi's a big strawweight herself, so I'll go with Lupita Godinez there. That's also on 274. Another fight that got made, Chris Curtis versus Dricus du Plessis. If he kills another one of these middleweight prospects, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And I actually think he probably will, because if you've seen Dricus du Plessis strike with someone in the first round... Dricus! Listen, Dricus, man. Listen to me, man. Dricus, eh? Go out there and shoot a fucking takedown in the first round and ragdoll this fucking welterweight, or I will be extremely unimpressed with your performance, okay? Listen to me, please. Please, Dricus. No testing out the stand-up that many fighters do that are grapplers. Nothing pisses me off more than a grappler feeling out the stand-up, Just shoot fucking Jimmy Crute. Shoot Jimmy Crute. Shoot, you're dead. Either way, Dricus du Plessis, go out there and just ragdoll this man who is 10 pounds of muscle less than you. You beat Roberto fucking Soldic. Please, I beg of you, beat this man. Do not let this 35-year-old man kill another young middleweight prospect. I'll lose my fucking mind. Chris Curtis first round KO. Dricus comes out, tries to test out the stand-up, looks like fucking Ian Gary on his debut, all jelly-legged, and then gets even more jelly-legged and probably put down in the first. Fuck, man! Stop putting him against him! Like, you can't find any other... You can find Sam Alvey for Wellington Turman. You can't find him for Chris Curtis. This is what you use Sam Alvey for. Chuck him to Chris Curtis. Don't be fucking doing Dricus du Plessis. It's fucking annoying, man. Either way. Bordeaux versus Porter. I don't give a fuck. But there you go. That's also signed. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.